It's Saturday Stockman Stampede, and today we're going to look at a case 7347 pattern. This one is in a very beautiful maple. The fit and finish on it is, it's okay. You can see some gapping in here and some in here between the springs. Overall, looks-wise, not too bad. The blades are pretty well centered. Everything is good, but this knife is not perfect. This is the second one. It took two of these to get one that I could work with. And that shouldn't be. This is even just one that I could work with. I don't want to send it back because I could get one that's even worse. When I open the main blade up, there's wobble. Can you see that wobble? And that wobble actually pushes the sheep's foot blade around. See, there's a tiny bit of rub. You can see that right there. But that's no big deal. So I am going to need to squeeze this pivot together, which is exactly what I had to do with this knife, another 47 pattern. The pivot was very loose on this one. The blade was way off center on this, but tightening the pivot did straighten the blade out. So this was, again, one that I could work with. And the same thing. It took two of them to get even one of these that I could work with. This should not be happening from case. You look at them, they're beautiful looking knives. They take the time to make them look right. Why don't they take the time to make sure they drill the pivot straight, they tighten the pivot enough, they get the centering decent. Doesn't have to be perfect, but just decent. And if you're wondering why this has scallops on it, this is one that I scalloped myself. I have a video on that back a little ways. So anyway, this is a beautiful looking knife. And after I'm done with it, it'll be an excellent knife. It'll be no big deal. I'll have to squeeze this pivot together in the vise a little bit. See which end the pivot sticks out of, the pivot pin. Peen it over a little bit, and then sand it down and polish it. Exactly the same thing I had to do to this knife. So once I finish with it, it'll be a beautiful knife. But as is, it's really hard to get a good one these days. You've got your sheep's foot blade, and there you can see the 7347 stainless steel. Spay blade. And the clip point. Exact same configuration as this, except for this knife is a carbon steel knife, which I really like. I have a strong preference for it, and I wish this one was in carbon, but I do like when the knives get a patina. The walk and talk on this, like other 47 pattern knives, is it's so-so. It's a little mushy. I wish it was snappier. It seems to me like the two-spring Stockmans have a snappier action, because on these three-spring ones, on these 47 patterns, the springs are thinner. You can see in that same space, there would be two springs instead of three, so it would be thicker material, which would have more spring to it. On the plus side, these each have their own space to run, and the blades don't have to be bent. So there's plus and minuses with each style. Overall, I'm happy with the knife. I will not be returning this one because, like I said, it's one that I can work with. And it's really a shame that I have to settle for that from case. They do charge decent money for these knives. Their prices have gone up over the years. I wish their quality would go up also. That's going to be it for this Saturday Stockman Stampede. Here's a close-up of the two knives. Which one do you like better? Do you like the wood covers, or do you like the yellow Delrin that's been scalloped? We'll see you on the next one.